The meeting was adjourned last night.
I don't think we have minutes going yet. We wait until we can talk about all this. We wait until we gavel in and start.
Well, then it'll be a different meeting. The meeting that's open right now is the one that didn't get adjourned last night. And on the agenda was exactly what I talked about.
Well, Mayor, with that in mind, no other motion is at hand. You can't have another motion if there's a motion to adjourn. The only motion you can consider right now would be the motion to adjourn, if we're in fact in the meeting from yesterday.
May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting from yesterday?
You already had it. So you, they're in good faith. If they want to take a vote, that's the only vote you can take.
To adjourn the meeting from last night.
I'm gonna.
Point of order on that, point of order on that.
There's no discussion on.
No, there's a point of order, that's not a debate without a motion, that's a point of order, because there's
So
a
then,
motion and a second on the floor. There's a motion and a second on the floor.
So Mr. Missions can have, he's entitled to state his point of order, whether we're in a work session or we're in a continued meeting. So I think you hear the point of order.
So the point of order is that the rules of procedure are extremely clear, that at a meeting of council, motion adjourned shall be in order. The motion may be made only at the conclusion of action of pending substantive matter. You had a first, I had a second, that's a pending substantive matter, may not interrupt deliberation of a pending matter, the motion is not debatable, cannot be amended. So, to make that motion, which was just made in a second, it actually interrupts the deliberation of pending matter. Motion, second, you've got a motion on the floor, you will have to raise it back to 76.7.
So
There was no pending matter.
My interpretation is, as Councilmember Alden had said, it wasn't pending. So what that language means to me is that if you're mid-motion, so if a motion had been on the table, it's being debated and talked through, and motion to adjourn mid-motion would be out of order. The way that motion to adjourn came about was before the business began being discussed and before the public hearing had opened and taken place. So certainly council, if it believes that the meeting has continued and here we are, you could take a vote to conclude it, begin the work session. In my mind, from a legal perspective, the council made clear that the meeting was concluded by its action. The majority left after the meeting was formally declared adjourned by the mayor, and I think that's enough. These rules of procedure, as I've mentioned previously, are really for council's convenience. They're not laws, they're not mandates, but it's really council's pleasure. If you all want to clear the record and have a vote on the motion to adjourn, you can, or we can proceed with the work session. But it sounds like there's a desire to put this today. So
just to be clear, your ruling is that we may be in a meeting and therefore it's eligible, or we may not be in a meeting. So I'm trying to understand, because it kind of came down both sides of it.
I don't think we are, but it sounds like there's members of council that think we are, that we're still in meeting.
Until we adjourn, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's the case, really to resolve all members' concerns, a vote would be in order to adjourn. But my perspective is it was adjourned.
So, point of order on that. Point of order on the fact that you said that it was adjourned, Mr. Friedman. Did we have a recorded vote?
That's not a point of order.
Because under the rules of procedure,
Mayor, they're trying to use this to be able to debate.
Councilmember Frawley, I have the floor.
No, you don't.
I do actually have the floor on point of order.
It's not a debate.
Each council member, section 6.9, who is the president of the meeting, shall be required to vote upon all issues presented to the city unless prohibited by doing so by any conflicts of interest. So we have a duty to vote. We are required to vote. There was no vote last night on the motion to adjourn. There was no vote. The four of you got up and left. There was no vote to adjourn the meeting. So my point of order on that is to say that the meeting was adjourned last night. We have a duty to vote under Virginia law, under our rules of procedure. That duty was breached. There was no vote. I didn't vote. If I didn't vote, I would have had to disclose why I didn't vote.
Mayor, this is
So,
debate.
to say that that meeting was adjourned last night is completely out of line.
I'm calling a motion to adjourn the meeting from last night.
You can't call a motion to adjourn. There's a motion to set the real estate rate at 76.7. There was a second. This is absolute,
I'll
this
give
is
you a real point
absolute
of order.
tyranny right here.
A real point of order.
That's what this is.
You cannot, if we're at recess and we just came back, there cannot be another motion made if one is pending, and if it is a
Like the
motion
rule.
to adjourn.
It's like the rule.
I don't have
Mayor
to.
called,
Yes, you do, you gotta cite.
That
rules.
is his call.
the
You
question.
don't ever cite rules, you don't know.
He
Point
restated
of
it.
order, the mayor's call of the question is out of order because there was a motion on the floor.
No, there's
And it was
not.
seconded. And we need to deal with that. It was on the agenda that we would do exactly what we're doing. I've tried to introduce the equalization rate so many times I can't even call it. And I was doing it again.
Okay, let us vote on the motion, let us vote on the motion that was made last night to adjourn the meeting.
That's not the motion on the floor, Mr. Mayor. It's not the motion on the floor, that's not the council member either.
The meeting had not been open when he made a motion.
The meeting doesn't need to be open because the other meeting was never closed.
The other meeting
All
was never closed. It hasn't been.
I'm calling the vote
You're calling a vote on what?
to close the meeting from last night.
So the meeting from last night is open. If the meeting from last night is open, there's a motion on the floor and a second, and you're denying a valid motion and a second. You acknowledge the meeting is still open.
Just let us vote.
You're denying.
Let's vote to close the meeting from last night.
The meeting.
Alicia, call the roll.
There's a motion to equalize the real estate tax rate
You ready?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferrell?
and a second.
Councilor Mission?
Point of order.
Can't, there's a vote underway.
Point of order.
I never,
We are conducting a meeting, an
Alicia,
official
call.
meeting that is still open.
Alicia, call it.
Everybody's decided
He
it
hasn't
is a
given me the
meeting.
vote, I did.
But we don't have on the cameras,
He's abstaining.
and we don't have on the microphones,
not, Chris,
and we're hiding this from the public.
I'm gonna let the vice mayor speak.
And I think it's out of order for us to be conducting a meeting and voting on your motion, which overrides his motion, or my motion, it's on the floor.
Great.
My motion is on the floor, just let us vote on the motion.
Call the
It's
roll.
no big deal, and then you can close the last meeting.
Why is everybody so afraid of voting for a
Why are
massive
you
tax
afraid of
increase?
voting for this? I can't even count how many times I've tried to introduce this.
Why is everybody so afraid to vote for a massive tax
What is-
increase,
what is
largest
the
in
fear?
history in Lynchburg?
Mayor, get your meeting under control. Call the roll.
Chris, you're not the mayor,
Councilor Mission?
you're not the vice mayor either. That is unacceptable, Chris. I'm not voting to adjourn.
So
The
let's-
motion, I will vote for.
My motion is still on the floor, and I'm
She's
still,
trying
it's
to get the vote.
Councilor
On
Reed?
the, on the,
On
ten-
my
on which
motion?
motion?
Yes.
On which motion?
Councilmember Timmer?
somebody please read the motion. It's my motion, I made it first.
This is the meeting for adjournment. Councilmember Wilder?
The meeting, yes.
adjournment?
It's the
The
mayor
mayor
is
adjourned.
calling the
I don't even know
motion.
what that means. I made a motion to pass the
Vice Mayor
equalization
Niemann?
rate, it was seconded. That should be properly on the floor. Let us vote.
Vice Mayor Niemann? Your vote?
The motion on the floor is to equalize the real estate tax, 76.7.
Motion on the floor is to equalize the real estate tax. I made the motion. I would love to be able to speak to my motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'm calling for the vote. I mean, we'll.
You guys can keep recording for subpoena later, that'd be great, thank you, WSJ.
So the mayor has called the vote, he's restated the question for purposes of the record. There has
I haven't heard
been,
it restated.
he has restated it multiple
Okay,
times
just one
now,
more time.
that the motion on the table, if it's believed that the meeting last night was not concluded, there's a pending motion on the table, it cannot be interrupted with another motion. The mayor has now stated
To
to
close the
close the
meeting.
meeting, the vote is in order at this time.
Can you cite the rule you're referencing about that pending motion?
You cannot,
Because I can argue the same thing for my motion is on the floor.
you cannot amend or debate a pending motion for an adjournment with an additional motion when it
It's not
hasn't been
additional, I did it
resolved.
first.
So I'm very confused here, because I made a motion to set the real estate tax rate after the public hearing at
My vote
76.
is to adjourn this meeting.
Mayor Taylor, I made a motion at the public hearing for the real estate tax rate at 89 cents to
Alicia, what's the result?
set it at
I haven't gotten
76.7
my
cents.
Are there four yeses?
And you recessed the meeting, and we never came back to vote. So I just want to put it on the record right now that you are absolutely acting in total hypocrisy with your running of this meeting. Because what you're doing is completely hypocritical to what you did when we first tried to equalize the real estate tax rate. We did not come back after recess to address a pending matter. We went into something different.
Get gavel down.
It
There were
passed
4
second.
yeses.
So we're going into work session.
Wow.
I must have missed the count.
We are going into work session.
This is some Soviet style stuff right here. You know that?
Would you like us to?
Soviet style stuff.
My
And,
vote,
if this meeting don't come to order, if this meeting don't come to order, I'm gonna see if we can't get fines and censures. Cause I'm tired of it.
because that works so well.
There's no meeting right now, you just adjourned.
You just
I
gaveled
just gaveled in the work session.
Okay.
This is gonna stop.
I'd like to record my vote if anybody mind.
I've written you down for
For what?
abstaining.
I didn't abstain. I'm gonna vote on the proper motion that was on the floor properly
We're in work
to support my motion to do the equalization rate. That is the only proper motion on this board, and that's the only one anybody in here should be allowed to vote on, and I'm voting in favor of that.
I will also vote in favor of that.
We're in the work session. And I would, turn over to Mr. Bender to go over the budget.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council, good afternoon. Glad to be here with each one of you. I want to highlight at the end of this week a momentous thing for all of us.